and welcome to our Lancashire Science Festival live broadcast. This is the third of the day. We are sharing some of our favourite experiments from the Lancashire Science Festival and giving you a little bit of a sneak peek for what's in store on Saturday. If you have any questions during the festival, during the broadcast, please just drop us a tweet or get in contact with Facebook and we'll try and answer them during the broadcast. If you have a question and it comes to you after we finish broadcasting, please still get in touch and we'll answer them in the next one after lunchtime. So I am here with Sujata Patel. Hello, hi. Sujata. Hi. Sujata, you work here in the Young Scientist Centre, don't you?
I certainly do. I work in this amazing space.
So what do you do here in the Young Scientist Centre?
Well, I take workshops with school children and we do these amazing STEM-related activities and workshops, hands-on activities with school children.
Fantastic. And your background's in biology, isn't it?
It is. I'm a biologist and then I went into cancer research where we're looking for treatments for cancer patients. But I've actually been at this university for a long time now.
And did you do quite a lot of chemistry when you've been working at the university?
I have, yeah. I spent about 4 years in chemistry, from biochemistry to chemistry, and then I came here.
So the experiment that we're doing today, I think is to do with chemistry, isn't it?
It certainly is. It's one of my favourite chemistry demos.
What's it called?
It's called the whoosh bottle. Yeah.
Ooh, whoosh bottle.
Yeah, then you'll see why in a minute.
Should we get straight into it and do our first whoosh bottle? Okay. If we could have the lights down, please, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. So get our safety gear on, safety specs, please.
Yeah, safety first, safety specs on. So you have a bottle there. So this is our whoosh bottle, isn't it?
This is a whoosh bottle. This is a very strong plastic bottle, and I have something in it, but we'll talk about that
reveal all in a second.
Yeah. I just want to get on and show you my demo.
Yep, tip away whatever's inside there.
Okay, so if you could get ready and just help me out a little bit, Liz.
Yeah, of course I can. So I'm going to, you might have seen splints in science labs at school, but we've got a giant splint here. So I'm going to light it. 3, 2, 1.
Well, you would agree that was pretty dramatic, right?
It's still going.
Yeah. So
that was amazing. So, don't know if you can see, but our whoosh bottle was so powerful, we've blown out one of our ceiling tiles. That's what happens when you're doing live science. So, Sujata, I'll take the splint from you.
Okay, thank you very much. So you would agree that was pretty dramatic, right?
I would agree that was very dramatic, Sujata. Can you explain a little bit about what happened, please?
Of course I can. So that was a combustion reaction, and we need 3 things for that to happen. So those 3 things are the alcohol, which I already had in the bottle, and oxygen, which is all around us, and obviously in the bottle as well. And then when we put the heat or the flame to the bottle, you got this amazing reaction, which was the flames and an incredibly loud whoosh noise, and then you got that blue flame that shut out the bottle. So that's what we call an exothermic reaction. All combustion reactions are exothermic.
That's a very big word. What does that mean?
It's a massive word, which means it releases energy. That reaction releases energy.
And in what form does it release the energy?
So you can see from this reaction just how much heat energy and light was given out just from that very small amount of fuel that I had in there. You can see that I tipped most of it out, to be honest.
Yeah, so we had 3 things there, didn't we? We had the fuel, which was in the bottle. We had the oxygen, which was in the air that was also in the bottle.
That's right, yeah.
And then we added the heat with our big splint, and we got the whoosh.
We got the whoosh, hence the whoosh bottle.
So we always need fuel, and we always need heat.
Oxygen.
And we always need oxygen. So those are 3 things. Yeah. So we always need the heat and the oxygen, but we could change the fuel, couldn't we?
We certainly could, and we call that the combustion triangle, by the way.
Okay.
So we've used an alcohol called methanol there, and we can use different alcohols. So would you like to see another one?
I would love to see another one.
So let's take that one away, and I can now show you a different alcohol. And this
Should we maybe move the location since we don't have a ceiling tile there now?
I think it should be okay.
Okay, If Sujata says it's okay, it's okay.
I hope. Okay, so again, I'm just going to tip away most of the alcohol, the fuel that we have in there. Tip that away. Make sure we get it all out this time. Okay, if you'd like the splint.
Yeah, could we have the lights down now, please?
So this alcohol I've got in there is called ethanol, okay? So let's see what happens with this one.
Okay.
And try and remember, if you can, what a dramatic reaction we had with the methanol.
Okay, so I'm going to light the splint.
We'll have a bit of a countdown again.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, so that was equally dramatic, I think.
That was still amazing, but it was a bit different to before, I think. Could we have the lights up, please?
Yeah. So what was different about it, Liz?
Well, I think it didn't seem to go quite as high, and it also seemed a little bit slower.
Yes, I think
Is that right?
Yes, I would agree with you.
Okay.
The flame kind of danced a little bit in the bottle there. So alcohols are highly flammable, which means that they ignite really quickly.
Okay.
So alcohols can be used as fuels, and in fact, ethanol, the one that we've just used there, we can mix that with petrol and use it in our cars as well.
Wow, okay.
Yeah? And other alcohols can be used like solvents and for medicines and cosmetics and marker pens as well.
So the first one we used was methanol.
Methanol, yeah.
And then and that was really fast. And then we used ethanol, and that was a bit slower.
It was
still
a bit
quite
slower.
dramatic.
So we had a lot of fun making these models to show you what methanol looks like when you look at it really closely. So that's ethanol.
Yeah.
Methanol. I'm going to do a bit of a jiggling about in my hand.
Do you want me to hold methanol up for you?
So that's methanol.
Okay, so this is methanol.
That's the first one we did. This one is ethanol, the one that we've just done. Can you tell me what the difference between them is, Liz?
Well, the methanol is a lot smaller than the ethanol, isn't it? So this one was really, really quick.
It was.
The small methanol, and the ethanol, which has an extra one of these bottles, was a little bit slower.
So if I have another alcohol that looks like this, okay, thank you, that looks like this. As a scientist, can you predict what will happen when we burn this one?
Okay, so the small one, really, really quick. The middle one, a little bit slower. I think the biggest one will be a lot slower.
A lot slower?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So like all good scientists, we've got a prediction. Should we do the experiment?
Yes,
yeah?
Let's go for it.
Okay, so just like before, can we, lights out? Okay, so that's all my extra alcohol out.
So what's the name of this fuel?
This one is actually called propanol.
Propanol. Okay, right. So I'm going to light the splint again. 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Wow.
That was great.
So that was a lot slower, wasn't it? Can we have the lights back up, please?
So did you notice how I almost had to put the flame in the neck of the bottle?
I did, yes.
Because it was so much slower. So because the propanol is so much bigger, it takes a lot longer to actually ignite.
Wow.
Yeah. So remember all those models that we had?
Yeah.
The first one that we used was methanol, and that was very small, and that went really quick.
Yeah.
And then that last one was the biggest out of our 3 models, and it was a lot slower. It's actually a lot easier to observe that flame, that blue-yellow flame that kind of danced about inside, and then you got the whoosh.
Oh, I think they're all amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
So we've got the fire triangle, so that was
fuel, which is our alcohols in this case. Then we've got oxygen, which is all around us, and then we're adding the heat or the flame to our fuel, and so all those 3 things combined is giving us that combustion reaction.
Fantastic. And we tried 3 different fuels. We tried methanol, ethanol and propanol, which are all alcohols. But one thing that I found slightly confusing is that all of those fuels were a liquid. Those alcohols were a liquid, and I normally think of liquids as not being things that you can set on fire.
Yeah, well the thing with these liquids is because they're so flammable, it's really easy for them to ignite, and it's easy for them to ignite because they go very quickly from a liquid to a gas.
Right.
So in that bottle you've got a vapour, which is a mixture of that gas, of that flammable liquid, and the oxygen is already in the bottle. So you've already got 2 things
out of your triangle.
Out your triangle. So then as soon as we add our heat, our flame to it, they just ignite really quickly. So it's the vapours that are really, really
Okay.
flammable and light really easily.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for showing me these. I think
Wow.
it'd be really good to do another one.
Well,
What do you guys think?
Which one of the three that we've done would you like to see again, Liz?
Well, in the interest of the ceiling tiles, I'd quite like to see the slow one, please.
Slow one, yeah, with the dancing flame.
With the dancing flame. I like the dancing flame.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that one again.
So
Then.
could we have the lights down one last time, please?
So let's have a little bit of a showstopper at the end with our propanol. Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Oh wow!
Amazing!
That was fantastic.
Love it.
Yeah. I'm always impressed every time I
Quite
see a whoosh
something.
bottle, and you can now see Liz why it's one of my favourite demos.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Yeah. If you've enjoyed watching the whoosh bottle and the other experiments that we've been sharing today as part of our live broadcast, please make sure you come along to the Lancashire Science Festival here at the University of Central Lancashire. It's this Saturday, it's absolutely free, and you can find more details on the website, which is just on the screen below. Thank you so much, Sujata. That was fantastic. And thank you very much for watching.
Oh.